So you're now separated. Most people at this point will tell you that your marriage is over. There's no way that you're going to be able to reconcile once you or your spouse leaves the house. But it doesn't have to be the end. During separation, this is the time to now focus on you. It's time for you to focus on the things that's important to you. A lot of times when we get married, especially if we have kids, a lot of our focus goes to our children or our spouse. And a lot of times we forget about us. We forget about ourselves. And for some people, the reason that you're now separated is because you focused on the wrong things. When you were trying to fix things before you probably got separated, you were focused on the issues in the marriage and you were focused on your partner. And like I said, if you have kids, you were probably focused on your kids. But what about you? So in this time of separation, if you're currently separated from your spouse, I challenge you. I challenge you to take care of yourself, to focus on you. And in this video, I'm going to give you tips that helped me while I was even separated from my husband to take the focus off of our issues and my hurtness. Is hurtness a word? But my hurtness of my marriage falling apart and how I began to bring myself together so that I can bring my marriage together. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Tasha Curry here, and I want to help you transform yourself so that you can transform your marriage no matter how impossible it may seem. I actually did a video like this 7 months ago when I started my YouTube journey, and the video was called How to Make Separation Work. But I wanted to make an updated version to that video. When I was doing that video, I mainly talked about my separation and I gave like a few tips. But in this video, I want to give some actionable tips on how you can get through your separation. So the first tip is you need to prioritize your mental health. Most people who are separated are angry, hurt, and just plain old upset. There may be a lot of crying, pain, and arguing. There are some out there that are separated and you're not going through all of that. Maybe you two decided that this was the best decision for you, so your split is more amicable than others. So if you are the one that's kind of fighting for your marriage and you just feel hurt, you just feel a lot of pain, then this tip is for you. You need to prioritize your mental health. The first thing is don't try to get back at your spouse no matter what they did. I did that with my first marriage. I was so hurt that I wanted to hurt my spouse, and all it did was hurt me more. And you're going to have those feelings come up depending on what your spouse did. You have to try to fight those feelings. You don't want to do something that you're later going to regret. Letting your feelings get out of control and acting out of anger will not bring your spouse back home. Also, if you know that the marriage is not going to be reconciled, giving into these feelings too, it can also ruin your chance to get what you want in the divorce. And as I stated earlier, being vengeful hurts you more than it's going to hurt your spouse. And if you need to talk to somebody, like a professional, to help you get your emotions in check, do that. Don't be afraid to go talk to somebody. Don't be afraid to go seek a therapist if you need it. Sometimes we can't control our emotions, and we need someone who's going to help us be able to keep our emotions in check. Tip 2, self-care. So different from keeping your mental health in check. Because self-care could be taking a bath, like taking a bubble bath with a glass of wine, or it could be knitting or doing your favorite hobby. I talk about self-care in a lot of my videos because self-care is super important. And while you're separated, self-care can take the focus off you actually being separated and putting the focus on you. You need to find yourself again and find those goals that you could have possibly given up on when you got married. Or you can create new goals. Even if you have kids, self-care is still more important. Because if you're not okay, how are you going to really truly be able to take care of your kids? Now, some of you are going to try to use your children as a distraction. But what happens when the kids are grown or not in the house? By you continuously doing self-care and focusing on yourself, you create a habit to where you put yourself first. And when you're happy, everything else falls in line. If your kids are still in the house, assist your kids with this transition, but still you need to focus on you. Tip 3, find people who understand what you're going through. Nowadays, we air our dirty laundry on social media, or we ask family and friends, what are we supposed to do about a situation? And if those people that you talk to have never been separated or never been in the type of situation that you're in, how are they going to be able to give you advice? How are they going to be able to even understand the feelings that you are going through? There are going to be times where you are going to just feel like you're losing it, and you're going to feel like you're going crazy, because that's what happens to us when we're unsure, when we don't know what decision to make. So you need to seek out people that, one, have been through what you've been through and they can help you through your situation. And 2, they need to be someone who's a positive force while you're going through the separation. You don't need negative Nancy's. Not right now. Going through my separation, I hated when people told me that my spouse sucked, or they would say bad things about him. I didn't want to hear it. Even if I felt that way at the time, I didn't want to hear other people saying it, because to be honest with you, it's not what I wanted. I didn't want my marriage to fall apart. So you need people who are going to be positive and tell you that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I think I kind of touched on this earlier. So tip 4 is actually seek counseling if need be. And when I was separated, I actually had to go seek a counselor, because I felt like I couldn't register my feelings. And then I felt like I couldn't get a handle on my feelings. Like I almost felt like I was on both ends of the spectrum. There was no middle ground, like at all. It was either I was super angry or super upset. Like I couldn't find that middle ground to where I was okay. So there was a point during our separation that I did have to seek counseling. Seeing a therapist does not make you crazy. It makes you smart. Sometimes you just need that neutral party to tell you you're not crazy and to talk you down. Tip 5, journal. Write your feelings out. Just get it out. Write what you're feeling right now. Even if it's just a big blur, write it. You just don't know how good you are going to feel once you get all your emotions on paper, and then you can sort everything out later. It also helps you just open up your mind and put things into perspective. 6, don't pressure your partner. I did this a lot when I was separated from my husband. I constantly would ask him, what is his decision on the marriage? What is he going to do about us? What are we going to tell the kids? I kept pushing him further and further away. Even though that wasn't my intention, by me doing that constantly, I was pushing him away. And when I stopped, he started to come back around. So let them be. Just do you and let your partner figure out what it is that they want. Tip 7, don't be with someone else just because you're lonely. I could probably do another video on this, dating while separated. But if you know that you want to reconcile your marriage, I don't think it's good. I wouldn't recommend it. Being with someone else at this time, when you're already in a confused state, is gonna make you even more confused. You may start even acting needy with the new person because really you just want your spouse. Just be alone for a while. Sort out your feelings before you make the decision to move on. If you move on and you haven't dealt with the issues that you needed to in your first marriage or in your current marriage, you're going to bring those same issues and that same drama into your new relationship. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it brought you value, because I value you guys. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you'll be notified of my videos when they post. And remember, love yourself, adore yourself, be yourself. Thank you, and I hope I get to see you guys in my next video.